Welcome everybody once again to Death Valley Driver. Once again, Steven here with my friend Miguel, and it's time to bring back, man, going for 5. What do we do in this series, Miguel? What do we do around here? What is it what we do?
Yeah, so what we do is we sit down and watch matches that Dave Meltzer has rated 5 stars. And basically, we see if they still hold up being 5-star matches.
Yeah, and just to see where our criteria meets and forming our own list, forming our own list of what we believe is 5 stars, what we don't. We did our last video on this a few months ago. Currently, we only have one match of the 5 rated 5 for us, but maybe we got some today. We'll see. We watch these matches together, and we have differing opinions, obviously, so we'll see how we end up putting these matches in our 5. So what are we starting off with today, man? What is our first match, our opener?
Yeah, so first match we are covering is Ric Flair versus Ricky Steamboat, NWA Chi-Town.
1989. This is Dave Meltzer's 19th 5-star match ever. This is Flair's 7th 5-star match out of 12 he ever received. He still has time to get some more. This is Ricky Steamboat's first out of 5-star matches he has. And this is the first of 4 straight 5-star Ric Flair and Steamboat pairing matches would get together. Their trilogy is famous. They have a house show I think Dave was at that he gave a 5 to. So that's also there. Maybe we'll watch that.
Yeah, originally we were supposed to cover the untelevised match from 89.
Mm-hmm.
We spun on it, and we did not know if footage existed, but come to find out, it does exist.
It's kind of shitty.
Yeah.
But anyway, Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat. I think it's hard to dispute Ric Flair being the best ever. At least top 5 for me. He's one of the greatest wrestlers ever. Ricky Steamboat, obviously, great in his own right, too. Yeah, man, I love this match. I thought it was another great Flair 80s match that we've watched together. Just pure electric crowd.
But I forgot to tell you this. I don't know if you noticed it, but Dave Meltzer was sitting front row for this match.
No shot.
Yes,
no
yes,
shot,
he was.
Really.
So
I didn't even know that.
There was a spot where Steamboat goes for the head sitter's takedown.
Yeah.
And then the drop kick, and Dave is loving this shit. He goes, "Wow!" He starts clapping and all.
Editor, gotta put Dave right in screen because I didn't notice it. That's awesome. That's sick. Dave loved all of these matches. He's given them all 5s. This is the first one. This is the one that Flair and Steamboat think is their best one. I mean, I still want to see the others just to form my own opinion, but I can understand that for sure. This is something that I'm sure they're proud of to this day, and they both look fondly upon. The chemistry between them. I think for sure, for Steamboat, Flair is his best opponent. It's hard to really think of a better opponent for Flair too. You can make arguments, obviously, but Steamboat has to be on the tippy top of that list. I love that 3-minute figure 4. Like that shit rocked. Not great officiating, but it's okay.
He just stares at Steamboat the entire time.
Yeah, the whole spot to explain it, Flair has the figure 4 on Steamboat, and Flair's just using the ropes for leverage, which I believe is just so he doesn't get flipped over, the flip over spot in the figure 4. So Flair's just using the ropes for leverage for about 3.5 minutes, and the ref's just not noticing. He's just focusing on Steamboat the whole time, and Steamboat's in pain and yelling, and then Flair's just being a fucking asshole. And then finally, the ref sees him, and it was just a really, really great match, great crowd energy. Surprising winner. I didn't think Steamboat was gonna win the first of the trilogy. I figured he was gonna win it maybe the second or third, but he beats Flair. They don't do a dusty finish. I think we both thought they were gonna do like a dusty finish there, right? But they stuck with Steamboat winning.
Yeah, this match, you could just feel the hatred. I remember when you were telling me, you were like, yo, is Steamboat a heel? And I was like, no, like he's never been a heel, but that tells you a lot about the match and like how much hatred there was between those two.
Selling is a bit strange here. Mostly from Flair. Flair takes his traditional Flair bumps, but some things I'm just like, okay, like taking the chop and like pretty much doing a dive outside the ring from the chop. That was a bit, that was artistic choice, but still, I love this match. Art truly, but great match, Miguel. This might be where we differ. We'll see. I mean, I think we've definitely both enjoyed the match. Maybe rated a little differently. What did you give this match?
Do you want to do on 3, 2, 1?
Yeah. Okay. We'll do that. All right. 3, 2, 1.
4 and quarter.
4 and 4.25. 4.5. Okay. I don't know. I like 4.5 for Flair and Steamboat. There is wiggle room because they're gonna watch the others down the line too.
Yeah.
But I kind of like 4.5. If you're good at going up to 4.5, that's fine. I don't really mind going down to 4.25.
I don't mind 4.5.
Let's do 4.5. Maybe it needs to be subject to change. We might talk about this backstage. We'll see. Number 2, we got the ace, Hiroshi Tanahashi, versus the wrestler Katsuyori Shibata. Destruction in Kobe 2014. This is the 105th Meltzer 5-star match and his 7th of the 2010s. This is Hiroshi Tanahashi's 4th 5-star match out of 18 he collected in his career. This is Shibata's 2nd out of 4. And this is the only Meltzer 5-star in the year 2014, which makes it by default his match of the year. Miguel, take us away about this match between two of our favorites ever.
Yeah,
I'm more of the Tanahashi guy. You're the Shibata guy.
Yeah, I was looking forward to this because we always have these kind of debates, like who's the best pillar, who's the best musketeer. You think Tanahashi is the best musketeer. I think it's Shibata. And this is a very us-coded match.
Yeah.
Shinsuke's cool. Shinsuke's cool.
Yeah.
But what I like about this match, well, first of all, Shibata's fucking awesome because this guy's vicious. He's unloading these forearms on Tanahashi, and Tanahashi is trying to match his energy. Like, beginning of the match, he slaps the fuck out of Shibata, and it's such an interesting pairing because both of these two are polar opposites. Like one is the technical high flyer, and one is the striker. And Tanahashi is matching Shibata in the strike game, like matching his energy.
Yeah. He's, I feel like he tries to have an answer for everything. And what I really liked for this match is that despite all that, Tanahashi, any attempt he had to like, this is how I'm going to beat Shibata had an answer for everything Tanahashi had for him. Like everything Tana did in this match, Shibata's like, fuck that. How about this? How about I kick you with your stupid head? How about I fucking wrap you up and slap you around? How about this? Like anything like Tana tried to do to Shibata had an answer for him too. So it was a real chess game. Obviously, Miguel, if you want to talk about the real life kind of, they're great now. It seems like they've really come to terms with everything. But there was a real hatred, maybe not hatred, but a real like dislike between each other for a while there.
Yeah, so Tanahashi was obviously working in New Japan Pro Wrestling, but in the mid 2000s, business wasn't doing that well. Financially, it wasn't the best. And Tanahashi essentially had to carry the promotion on his back. Meanwhile, that was happening. Shibata left New Japan Pro Wrestling to pursue a career in MMA. And Tanahashi didn't like it. He wasn't too fond of Shibata leaving the promotion. And Shibata did come back to New Japan Pro Wrestling in 2012. They did have matches prior to this, a couple G1s, but this was their first big match that they had since Shibata came back.
I think the real life sort of resentment added to it for sure. I think in general, like I've told this to you while we were watching a match, but to me, nobody makes me more sympathy. You know, Tanahashi plays sympathy and, you know, babyface, I think, better than anybody in history. I think he's just the best babyface ever. And, you know, nobody makes me want to root for them more than Tanahashi. And definitely this match when Shibata's just fucking him up. He's great. And every time Tanahashi, you know, comes back, has his offense, looks like he's gonna like find a way to put Shibata away. Shibata is just so good at just showing that he's the guy and I'm gonna put you down. Like he is so good at just shutting shit down and being mean. And he's just I love these guys. I love these guys. Listen, Tada's my guy. Shibata, he's kind of my guy too. I'm gonna give it. I would give it like a 4.25. I would give it 4.25.
I had the same rating.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Okay.
don't have to.
Yeah, they'll have to discuss it.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a Dave 5. I do think it's what is a Dave 5. I don't see it as R5. I do think it was like a great match, an amazing match, but you know, best match of 2014. Like, dude, I had Bray Wyatt, John Cena that year.
Be nice.
Be nice. Okay. This is your doghouse, man.
Yep. So we have Cosmic Angels, Tam Nakano, Sori Ano, and Natsupoi versus Neo Genesis, Starlight Kid, Azumi, and Miyu Amasaki, aka Kevin, at Stardom Supreme Fight.
Before you go really more into this, I just want to bring up this is Dave's 274th 5-star match, 110th of the 2020s. You know, this decade he's given more 5 stars than any time else. But this is most competitors' match, like first 5-star match for their catalogs. Besides, well, no, it's everybody's first 5-star. This is most people's only 5-star. Besides Tam Nakano, Tam would have 2 more 5 stars before retirement, both against Saya, and Natsupoi would have one just this year, 2026. So, but yeah, what do you think of the match, man?
I thought it was solid. First of all, let's talk about the story going into this match. So the story essentially is Neo Genesis wanting to add more titles to the group.
Mm-hmm.
Starlight Kid was the white belt champion at the time. Matter of fact, beating Natsupoi for Dream Queendom. Miyu Amasaki was the future Stardom champion. And Azumi was the only one in the group without a championship. For the match itself, it was a good paced match. Everyone got their stuff in. But I feel like you kind of understand why Dave gave us a 5. Like it has that dramatic feel to it, and it's a feel good moment for Azumi because during this time, the last time she had won a championship was 2022. I think it was the high speed championship. So for her to win a championship after 3 years, it's a feel good moment for her.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. Yeah, it's good to get the lore between all of that. No, I thought it was a pretty great match. Very definitely, I saw a bunch of times in this match like, okay, this is why Dave gave it a 5. This just fits all of his like criteria. It's unwritten criteria, but like if you've followed his like his career and how he rates matches, you know how Dave does this shit. But like super fast pace, like rarely a dull moment. They weren't really working any holds. Just doing their thing. Just false finishes out the wazoo. Near the end, little, maybe a little too much, but a lot of cool double team moves from both stables, especially from Neo Genesis. I thought my star of the match, again, everybody here. I'm a little biased. I do love her, but freaking, definitely freaking Salary. She fucking, her bridges and her being kind of like the only like technician sort of in this match. Not really, but the only one that was really doing technical moves.
I would say Starlight Kid is one as well.
Yeah, no, Starlight Kid is too, but she's like a hybrid
Yeah.
as well. Salary's just a bass technician, but in general, just a great match. It's a little surprising. This is like Tam's only. This is Tam's first 5. Like going back to like the Julia matches that were pretty well received, especially that hair versus hair one. The Saya matches, obviously, he rated and he loved, but it's a little surprising that this is her first one, but it rocked. It was a cool match, but what would your rating be for it though?
Honestly,
what's the big go
I'll go under the 4.
Really, I would go 4, just base 4. You know, I love women,
But I did prefer this match over the Laredo Kid and the Vikingo match.
Okay, so by that logic,
so by that logic, do we put this at a 4 because we prefer this match over the other?
I'm good of going 4 in it. I'm good of going 4.
Okay.
I think if I can go, Laredo Kid is still like the worst match we've seen, and no disrespect, it was still like a really good match, but like no disrespect at all. I like both those guys. I like the Laredo Kid's gonna be. The Laredo Kid just wrestled on Raw recently, I think, so that's pretty cool. Okay, all right, and now we got. Oh man, we got Kenta Kobashi, the great Kenta Kobashi. Top 4 pillar versus Stan the Man Hansen. So Kenta Kobashi, Stan Hansen. This is the 47th Dave 5, the 23rd of the 1990s. This is Kobashi's 8th 5-star match. You know, already compiling fucking 8 of them so far in his early career. Out of 24, he overall gets. This is also his 3rd of the 1993 year. And this would be Stan Hansen's 3rd 5-star and last 5-star match. And this is only singles 5-star match. No other singles match he's had has gotten him 5 stars. I love Stan Hansen.
I'm not after all the bright lights and the little woman. I got a big fat wife. And 9 kids, I gotta feed.
I got a fat wife at home, 9 kids. Kenta Kobashi. Yeah. Oh my god. I fucking awesome.
He fucking
match.
rocks.
Tell us a little bit about what we saw here today, man, or the other day.
You know, man, when we were watching the match, all I had in mind was this Hansen interview where he was talking about his time in Japan. And essentially, you know, him talking about his role being this monster gaijin. Mm-hmm. And Bob was sending out his young talent at the time, you know, Kobashi, Misawa, and Kawada. And they all had to prove themselves against Hansen. And Hansen wasn't, you know, shy to fuck you up, you know?
No,
like,
we
it's
see
fucking Hansen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was truly their ultimate test if they belong there, you know, because in their mind, like what Hansen was talking about, like these guys are prideful, you know, like they had to show determination and they're not going to get bitched by this guy who's a foreigner, you know, this is their country.
No, yeah, absolutely. And you can see throughout this whole match how fucking desperate Kenta Kobashi is to just kill this guy. Like the majority of this match is Kenta Kobashi, at least the first half is Kobashi just trying to beat the fuck out of Stan Hansen and just chopping him and slamming him down, and it just keeps putting him in headlocks. Like, you know, like
also like, a bunch of leg drops.
Yeah. You can see kind of like the youth of Kobashi at this point, like still, you know, like willing to just put everything on the line. No game plan, just doing everything to put Hansen down. It's fucking fantastic work. Stan Hansen, I can talk about Stan Hansen all day. He is one of my favorite wrestlers ever. He can on a fucking dime, just play, just being like just a chicken shit like heel, like please, like stop, like all right, take it easy, and then like on a switch, he just looks like the meanest guy ever. He just looks like a fucking asshole that you want to see like get his teeth knocked out, and he played both, like, one's the second he like gets his offense back on Kobashi, he gets the power bomb outside the ring, and he just looks like such a douchebag. I'm like, this is the GOAT, man. I don't know.
You mentioned this, but this match was majority of Kobashi like having the offense. Like it wasn't Hansen like dominating majority of the match.
No.
And it felt like Kobashi could have won the match, but like a simple mistake cost him the match. And you know, he gets hit with a Western lariat, which
Crowd popped huge for it.
yeah. And you know, took a long time to pin him, but at that time, Baba was the only person to kick out of the Western lariat.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe that makes perfect sense. I mean, it was such a protected move at the time.
Yeah.
For particularly from Hansen. Amazing crowd too. This helped it as well. You know, Chris Jericho, not to throw him under the bus, but I actually don't give a fuck. But he's always given like Japanese wrestling fans such a weird reputation that like, oh, they're quiet, you know, they're being respectful. Like, that's not always the fucking case, bro. Like their Japanese wrestling crowds are some of the loudest crowds ever, depending where they are, and they were in love with what they were seeing. They wanted Kobashi to kill this guy so bad. They were scared of Stan Hansen because he's a fucking maniac, and they elevated already a great match into something like legendary. I'm gonna give it, despite all of that talking we did, you know, I don't think it's a 5. I think it's damn close. I'm like hovering around like a 4.5, maybe 4 3/4. What do you think?
Man, I was so tempted to give this a 5. I was like, dude, this shit fucking rocks.
So
but I'll go with 4 3/4. We can decide to go that or 4.5.
I think we do 4 3/4. We were debating giving it a 5 too. I was never really there. I don't think it's that level of legendary status, but it is a legendary like match. So I'm good at giving it 4 3/4. And now it's time for our main event. We've got the best bout machine, Kenny, by God, Omega, versus Destino himself, Naito
Tetsuya!
Stardust Genius. Man, so real quick, before we talk about this match, this is the 121st Meltzer 5-star ever. It is the 23rd of the 2010s. He stat pads like crazy at that point. It's the he I think he might get to 100. Yeah, he gets to 100 by the 2010. So like 2018, 2019, just giving everything a 5-star. But this one, he actually gave this one 5 3/4. He broke the scale for this. But this is Omega's 5th 5-star out of his 32 overall in his career at this point. And his 4th of 2017, and it is also his 2nd 5-star in that year's G1. This will also be Naito's 4th 5-star out of 11 so far in his career. This is his 3rd of 2017. And this would also be his 2nd in that particular G1. What are we thinking, man?
First thing I wrote down was Stardust? Best team ever? Question mark.
It might be. I mean, it's up there for sure. I love that song. So I also forgot to mention, this is their 2nd 5-star plus match together, or just 5-star in general. The year prior, that year's finals, 2016, Kenny Omega beat Tetsuya Naito. So there's a story there, obviously, that enhances this match. I feel like it's hard to really like find their definitive primes of wrestlers, but after seeing, you know, years of Kenny, years of Naito, it's hard to say that this isn't like the prime best in-ring Kenny Omega versus the prime best Tetsuya Naito. This is just 2 guys at the top of their game, like 2 guys that are going to be considered like the best of all time in those conversations, at the top of their like physical and mental game. And you can feel it in this match. It was just crazy athleticism, between two guys who are still rocking today. Still rocking today. Dude, Miguel, we picked this match at the perfect time, man. They're both world champions
Yeah.
right now. They're both world champions.
And also, by the time we recorded this is a day after their 9th anniversary of this match.
Oh my god. Oh my god. We didn't even do this on purpose. Oh my god. Prime athletic peaks of both these guys. Obviously, through the shit they were doing this match, just being able to keep going. It looks like 110 miles per hour in like 34 minutes, however long this match was. Like, it didn't feel like they were breaking a sweat. The Kenny with, how fast that he can just go from move to move, and his dives, and just obviously the fucking all of his like drivers and suplexes he does. Naito, man, Destino's such a fun finish that he can just counter everything into that shit. That's why his matches are amazing. That's why Naito's matches I used to love so much, because you can just literally do Destino from like anything, and you would see that here. We'd see that here and see that in the finish.
My favorite spot was when, Naito was targeting Omega's neck and they go outside and Naito goes for a power driver outside onto the table.
Yeah.
And he misses the fucking table and Omega dies, bro.
It's so fun. It's so crazy. Like, it's such a battle of wills. The storytelling in this match is a bit underrated. I feel with Japanese wrestling, especially New Japan Pro Wrestling, a lot of the storytelling isn't like, like, I don't know if I want to do the power. I don't know if I can do the tiger drop. I don't know, like, looking back and forth. That's not what like New Japan stories are. It's just more about like shit you can see in a match. You can see how badly both these guys need to like prove themselves. Kenny needs to prove that, I've already beaten Okada in this tournament, as he did. If give me another chance at Wrestle Kingdom, the Dome, I can beat Okada now. I know I can. And Naito also fighting for, like, I'm the fucking man. I know I am. I know I'm better than Okada. I know that fucking I can beat him in the Tokyo Dome. And I know I'm better than Kenny Omega. And I need to do this for myself tonight. And this was definitely a battle of wills, a battle of athleticism, a battle of being two smug assholes. But tonight, Naito was the more smug asshole, and he fucking beats Kenny Omega. Oh my god.
I love how his story is all about redemption, because in 2013, his G1 Climax win wasn't well received by the fans.
No.
And he beats Omega and everybody's rooting for Naito. And it's just, everybody loves him. And it's fucking awesome.
He became undeniable.
Yeah.
For sure. He became just, you cannot stop him anymore. And unfortunately, he doesn't actually beat Okada when it comes to the 1-4 Wrestle Kingdom. And Kenny eventually does beat Okada at Dominion the following year. An amazing match, one of the best matches in both guys' whole careers. Potentially, better than a certain other Kenny match that happened that year. We'll get to that at one point. We'll get into that one day, because we will watch that Kenny Okada match at one point. But in a vacuum, Okada, bam, non-factor. Kenny, Tetsuya Naito. I think we gotta bookend the video by going back 3, 2, 1. What rating are we giving this masterclass? Let's go. I'm gonna do the count. 3, 2, 1.
4.5.
4 3/4.
You know what? We could do this. We could do 4 3/4.
Yes. 4 3/4 is not a bad rating, guys. Most of these ratings aren't bad ratings. This is one of the best wrestling matches of the 2010s for sure. 5 stars. I mean, probably not. It'd be close to me. the only thing we'll get to this one day, but there's another certain New Japan match that happens in the year 2017 that I think is 5 stars. That this match isn't as good as. But yeah, all right. So there we got in the books. We have all these matches ranked. Another edition of 5 for 5 done. So we already pretty much have our next one laid out. If we'll do it next week, next 5 months, I don't know. We'll see. But all right, guys. Great episode. Great talking to my friend here. And I hope you all liked it. And we'll see you guys next time.